So in previous session, what Vibha proposed is that whether in PNC there is masculinity or femininity is there or not. I have not come across any kind of such proposal, but definitely both the genders are physically unique, and the capabilities are unique. That is identified. Yes, Priya is also joining. Right. So that is there. But as far as these emotional responses are concerned, it is not, I have never come across. But in the dialectically, we can definitely explore the things, because the masculinity, not the physical aspect as you proposed, but by nature, if the masculinity is there, then we sometimes observe that the soft emotions are lacking. That's what you proposed, right, Viva?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So I've never come across these correlations in PNC study. Whatever I have studied, I have not studied a lot. I'm not a reader by nature, but this is actually case to case basis we can explore. As Binal was bringing that particular example of her father. So because of that thing, so one thing here I must admit that we have these two spectrums, one spectrum who are not at all interested to explore the things dialectically, and other spectrum, they explore the things dialectically and try to retain, gain and retain the neutrality, and other are the ignorant about the uh, dialectical aspect, just stay neutral or look neutral. uh, are you able to understand? The both the spectrums actually look alike, but internally they are not the same, and they don't justify the first spectrum, those who do not explore the things and stay ignorant and sometimes look neutral. That's not justification of the neural capability that we have as Homo sapiens. We are actually structured to explore the things dialectically. Look at a baby. The baby is full with question. Who has taught her to ask question, right? We understand that it is a programmatic knack of asking question that we have as Homo sapiens. So somehow, because of many conditioning, this questioning nature gets suppressed over time, and that's out of suppression. If ignorance is coming out, so ignorance is incapability, that's not very glorified things. As I often say, that innocence and ignorance are incapability. If you cannot, and I'll take up this deeper. Actually, the next question that I have received, that revenge aspect, that should we be ignorant about the conspiracies or negative experiences that we have? Should we do that? I will go in that aspect. But coming to the point of ignorance and innocence, these are incapabilities. If somebody is really innocent and not able to go deeper, that individual needs to take care of this state and needs to inculcate the habit of going deeper. Then only ultimate state of homeostasis will arrive for that individual, and it will be the justification of the neural capability. So here it is my proposal. Now you guys are welcome to counter or add if you feel. Viva, does it? Sir. Yeah, Minu, go on, please.
Sir, I think that we are just assuming that these people do not think or they are not exercising their capability.
See, assuming means we are taking
We are
consideration
thinking
of
just
those
like,
people
for
who are not
example,
taking.
sorry, yeah.
Visibly, both look alike. Now we are taking the examples that one person is thinking deep, other person is not thinking. So if we are justifying that, see, thinking deep also, if lead to the homeostasis, not thinking also will lead to the state of homeostasis, then why to think? I'm questioning that.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not assuming that the individual is not thinking. If individual is thinking, then that individual is coming to the other side.
So, well, I think Beenal is assuming that her father-in-law is not thinking. Her
I'm not
father
sure.
or whatever she said. I mean, that's what I understood from what she said. I
Yeah.
assume maybe.
Are you able to understand, Vinal, what Meenu is proposing here?
Yeah, I cannot say with complete certainty that he's not thinking, but as a person, as a nature, he is, I mean, as much as I've seen of him, is someone who is very practical, who, for example, I can give a real life example of him
Yes.
getting extortion calls and he's sleeping deeply in the night, whereas my mother, she was more concerned and had a sleepless night because she was worried as to what will happen. So I could see um, him experiencing a very threatening, life threatening call himself, but not getting affected by it, whereas my mother, who is just a witness to all this, but taking that same incident in a very personal way. So I can see one experience being processed very differently by two individuals, and that's what my father, I could see that he maintained his equanimity, he could, you know, carry on with his life. And this is not just one incident. I can see him incidents after incidents where he's able to just be normal. So I don't know how much deep thinking has gone into it is a question mark. So I feel that it's by nature only he's able to disassociate and
Now,
associate
love to
naturally.
have your further experience on that when you interact with your father. That how does he deal with it? How he continues? If you interact and try to explore the pattern he chooses, then we'll be able to understand what is the strategy that he is opting, whether it is a dialectical strategy or a non-dialectical strategy. If a non-dialectical strategy is chosen by any chance, then definitely that individual is innervating inside. It is not
Yes.
visible outside, because dialectics only psychologically will reduce the innervation, right? Yeah, Vibha, your point was discussed. Do you want to add or ask further or propose something else? Vibha, are you
So,
there?
yes. I thought you said that if he's not exercising his capability to explore, then that's a problem. Is that what you said? I mean,
Mm, yes. So exercising the psychological, the neural exercising is if the capability is not exercised, then that's a problem that you are asking, right?
in the
That's a
sense, sorry.
Yeah, that's a actually some kind of obstruction in the progression of the self expansion if one
Hmm.
is neglecting or denying the capability. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah, so I was just thinking of my own experiences because,
Yeah.
in the sense that, sometimes, uh, like I used to have this house help, and and I would try to explain things she would not understand, and she would keep making the same mistakes, and so there was irritation and annoyance that why is she not using her mind, and why I can't understand a simple thing, and why is she wasting my time? So. Yeah, but we also say that so that you if people don't want to kind of do certain things or don't want to understand, you just let them be, and you accept them. So I'm not sure what my question is, but I'm just.
No, this is very interesting point that you have brought in, that we experience a lot of people in our life that
Yeah.
we are so easily understanding something, but they are not understanding that thing.
So this expectation doesn't seem to go away. That, for example, if I am putting in a lot of effort in doing something and, thinking about something and planning something, and someone is a partner in that whatever exercise, for example, my house help, so we're working together, collaborating in a sense,
Yes,
then I also expect some degree of effort and some kind of expect other people also to kind of uh, exercise whatever capability they have, and I think to some degree all of us have, maybe. um, but so there's annoyance and there's irritation that they're not doing it. So how do you kind of, so
yes,
this that causes some amount of distress, that
yes,
things are not happening.
yes,
And that happens almost in every kind of situation in life. Wherever you go, you're trying to do something, and the people who are working with you are not, um, you know, um, responsive, or they don't, they don't. How do you say it? They're not as committed, or they're not as involved in what you do, in what you're doing together. So how do you kind of deal with it?
yes,
Because
yes.
that doesn't seem to go away. I'm constantly expect, oh, he should have done this, or this person should have actually put in the effort, and because we're working on this together, why is he not you know
Right, right.
so yeah.
This is a very real life situation, and we all can relate with it. So I would actually dissect this into two categories. One is that your own sketched work is being hampered with the associating person who is
Hmm.
not contributing as expected. This is one category.
Yeah.
And other one category is with the individual you are not associated in terms of work, but you relate with that individual and you feel pity that why that individual is not using the neural capability as I am able to do, or anybody else rather can do effectively.
Not really pity, but some kind of frustration that
Yes, 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 yes. So it's a different word, but definitely you feel bad about it, right? That's what it
Mm,
means. So the first category is the problem of protocols. The first category is a problem of protocols, because in this kind of work association, the protocol has to be very explicit. And
mm,
on the terms of the protocol, if the individual is not coming up, then again explicit discussion and detachment can be opt.
mm,
Disassociation can be opt from the
yeah,
work,
yeah,
right? And while doing this, you have to understand the individual with whom the protocol was initiated and the individual with whom the protocol is now coming to an end. The individual has changed dynamically, right? So you
mm,
need to mentally transport to that person, and you need to try to explore the reason. There could be some reason behind why initially that individual was following the protocol, but slowly and gradually that motivation has gone down. That exploration is needed by mental transportation,
yeah.
right? And in the second category where you don't have any, so the first category comes to that house help person category. You
Mm,
have employed that individual to you have not done any charity, right? You expect some task to be completed by that individual to and that's why you employed.
yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
And while employing, you should uh, fix some protocols that these are the things, and I'll keep on monitoring whether these protocols are followed or not. and then only this work association will be continued. Because work association and charity are two different things. Many a times with the work help, this is in my personal experience, also in my family experience, I dealt these kind of situations many a time when I observe that individual is expecting that this should be a charity. But this is an employment, we need to understand, right? Charity is a different thing, and charity is a personal choice. For anybody you can show charity. But this kind of aspect is a clear-cut protocol aspect, and one has to abide by the protocols, and otherwise it's a clear-cut disassociation. The second category is far more critical, where this actually, after coming to this pure nature cure lifestyle and thought process, this is a repeated occurrence in our lives, that we expect or feel or wish that these individuals should opt this lifestyle, then the agony of their life will be changed, will be reducing. But
Yes.
they are not agreeing to it, or they are not coming on the terms. So this is the beauty of that understanding of association and disassociation. The sense of this urge that they should follow this, then they will be getting a benefit out of it, which directly there is no benefit for you. This
Yeah.
shows that you are closely associated with those individuals, which is an awesome thing, that you are able to mentally transport yourself to that individual. Now, at the following part, if you are not able to disassociate effectively, then you suffer the blow of distress. So there, the rescuer is this understanding of the importance of disassociation, that individual is an unique individual, and he or she has got his own exclusive freedom of choice.
Yes.
You know, we cannot encroach and make him to do the way I want him to do or her to do. This understanding of the freedom. So if you can, this is connecting to the evil is an illusion proposal. There are 3 articles actually that I've shared. I'll share the written articles also. I'll dig it out because listening to that maybe sometime innovating. You may like to read that. So what I was saying is that there are 3 articles. One is that explaining the categories of evil. Second article is explaining the beauty of freedom. And third is explaining the layers of consciousness to understand evil. So first is categories of the evil. Second is freedom, the beauty of the freedom. And third is the aspect of consciousness, the deeper conscious and upper conscious differences to identify that evil, or acknowledging the evil, or understanding or being aware of the evil that was proposed. Yeah, so anybody who has listened to it and want to share the viewpoint on the evil and revenge aspect?
So I just wanted to say I'd begun watching the first video or the talk on evil, and I couldn't watch all of it, but I could really relate to the part where you said that evil is actually not premeditated. Nobody is actually deliberately trying to cause harm, but it's just an action that they consider needful. I think that's what you said. That, yeah. So it's actually so telling my
I
sister.
a question on revenge actually. Let me read that question again. In case of justice, what is termed as an ongoing process? So, this question actually is asking that whenever we are seeking justice, so revenge, I propose that revenge is a form of justice. Sorry, justice is a form of revenge. If you are seeking justice, that means you are trying to revenge. What is your viewpoint? Trying to expect some revenge out of it. Riya has unmuted.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not able to understand that how it is revenge. I mean, justice is trying to put things right. No? I mean, like, suppose, making things equitable. So, I'm not able to associate justice with revenge.
Right, right. So, anybody else would like to give a viewpoint on justice and revenge? If we try to understand the difference between justice and revenge. Any thought, Minu? Yeah, Vikrant is asking a question that I didn't get forgiving the one who has done evil to you. What if he does not consider it as evil at first? Right. So okay, let me respond to this question first. What Vikrant has asked, then we'll take up that revenge, and because that might take little longer time. Vikrant, the forgiving, as we proposed in the previous Clarity Live, that forgiving is actually disassociation from the ill experience. It is not about the individual. It is not the individual with from whom or due to whom you had that ill experience. It is not for that individual. It is for you to disassociate from that event as a whole. That past has passed and passed by, and now it is a newer me, and I have to perceive the life in a different perception and a newer perception. That is what is the forgiving. Forgiving is not about that individual who has done any harm to you. That is what is a forgiving. So what you have proposed is that what if he doesn't consider it as evil at first place. So we will be addressing the second part of your question, how to have that individual corrected, because this is the most critical part in any experience of evil. Now I'll try to explain. Suppose this is A and B. This side the evil and this side the affected. Suppose some evil incidents happen. Right. Now, how to perceive this state and bring some change in future, because this is definitely an ill experience for sure, and the act of evil could be anything. Let's take some very critical aspects: rape or blackmail, this kind of aspect. Right. So not a small act of evil, so ill experience and all. How to perceive this thing? So one is for sure that we need to correct this experience. We need a better experience for future. That expectation, or that's a by default is a need, and it's a nature. That whenever you have some problem in nature cure aspects also, we understand that if there is some problem in the homeostasis, the body is equipped to reverse it and correct it. So event wise, experience wise also, we all need a correction of the ill experience. There is no argument on that. What we are here discussing is how to perceive this situation so that our equanimity or homeostasis is protected. Right? Now, first of all, in the category of rape, suppose A is the rapist, and B is raped. Right? Now, the experience should be distributed into two parts. One is the physical experience, other is the psychological experience. Right? So, for the raped person, it is nothing but a physical accident. If you attached the honor here with the rape, that time, so in Hindi actually we call that ijjat chala gaya. So that individual is dishonored. This is actually an imposed perception. This is an imposed perception. If you look at it, then B doesn't have anything to do with that dishonoring thing. Who can be dishonored? If somebody is not maintaining the integrity, he is eventually dishonored. That is what is the natural occurrence of the honoring and dishonoring. Right? So here, in this particular case, this is a big assumption that we suffer from, that rape actually destroy the honors. So if the individual is uplifted with this understanding that, hey, if you are raped, then your honor is not disturbed. It is a physical accident that happened to you, and that can be taken care of. And these are the things that if you follow, then this can be taken care of. Right? The moment you bring the honor aspect here, the revenge aspect will come, and it will be a devastating experience for B overall. Right? So individual at the individual level need to understand that there is no connection of honor with the rape. At the individual level I'm talking about, not at the societal level we need to change and all those stuff. Now coming to the rapist who has done this mistake and not considering this as evil, what Vikrant proposed. Now what it needs, punishment cannot correct the way we perceive punishment. We may opt to hang that individual, but that hanging will not bring any correction. We need to understand dialectically. If the correction needs to be done, then it's a long process. It's a long process, and correction actually can come in two ways. Correction can come two ways. The ultimate condition of the correction is that individual needs to realize that it is a wrong thing that I have done and I have to correct myself. So the realization is the primary requirement for any correction. And to bring the realization, what we can do is bring an awareness of dialectics. Of the dialectics means the actual reality of the aspect. The individual is definitely having an irrational sexual thought, and that is the reason he ended up raping somebody. So that bringing awareness is one thing, and how to bring awareness, it is a very critical task. Through the justice, the awareness cannot come. If the justice in real sense, if we wish to bring, then actually bringing awareness is the right justice. Otherwise, the killing person, the person may be hanged, that will not bring any justice. What kind of justice it is? End of someone will bring a peace within me, then it is absolutely a non-dialectic proposition. Right, I open this proposal for others. We don't have much time to this session. We can resume with another session anyway, but let's, for the interest of all, I will not waste much time. So this is my proposal. Anybody who is getting confused or wants to add something?
Sir, how will that person realize that it is his mistake?
That is the awareness that I was talking about.
No, I just got, I mean, you put it in two different categories. So,
Yes.
realization and then awareness. So, either it should be one below the other. Realization leading, the awareness will lead to realization.
So awareness, in terms of the awareness, I'm saying like, see, if you want to educate, this is quite relatable in the aspect, in the example that I shared with all of us are do experience that we want somebody to receive a piece of education, but he is not receiving it. For example, the pure nature, pure lifestyle. We want that our family members, all of our family members should start accepting the dialectics of pure nature. If that is the condition, then we are in a fixed state that people are not accepting this. They have their own dialectic, their own rationality, their own understanding. With that, they are not ready to accept it. Now, what is the choice that you are left with? You cannot bring realization for them. Realization is that individual's interest. But what you can bring on the table is the awareness. Awareness in terms of maintaining integrity at your own level first. And that will bring some awareness that
So,
this guy is.
basically, this awareness can be spread by um, a person with integrity
Yes.
through education,
Yes.
but that person is not seeking it, then what?
Unless that individual seeks it, nobody can correct any individual.
Yes.
That's the ultimate reality we need to accept.
Yes. So, do you think that? Don't you think that um, this is futile? Like
No,
thinking
see,
about how thinking about trying to make people aware is futile.
making aware is futile. So
Thinking
I
about trying to bring that awareness is futile because it is not being seeked.
no,
Or we
anyway,
must just
see,
equip ourselves with the way to educate. Whenever it is seeked, we can start that. You mean that?
yes, well, I mean two aspects. The futility that you are proposing, there are two aspects. One is that general awareness where you are working. Why should you work? If it is not yielding any outcome as expected, then why should you work for that awareness? This awareness is nothing but exploration of the self and expansion of the self. And it's a nature that you will be finding that some or other person is becoming aware with your initiative, and the journey will continue. It will not be a futile initiative if you are taking any initiative towards the bringing awareness. That's number one. Number two is, one thing is very concerning, that if that individual is affected uh, deeply, that rapist kind of individual is affected deeply mentally, and is not ready to correct himself, then will it be a risky proposition to not to opt justice or so-called imprisonment or those kind of things. So we are here not proposing that we should not bring the justice here societal way. What we are discussing here, the how to perceive justice at the individual way, right?
Yes.
And in the societal collectivist way, to bring the justice, it is very critical aspect, because the justice should have a single objective of correction, and correction is a critical aspect. The system also should know which is bringing the justice on the table, right? So correction, the moment we forget about the correction, actually we go haywire in bringing any change in the society or uplifting it. Right. So, so guys, I'll take a raise hand or not. Should we continue for the next session for 15-20 minutes, or Is it fine to conclude? Because I see clock ticking as 1 minute or close to 1 minute is left. I'll take a raise hand. Those who wish to continue for another 10 minutes. Okay, most of all. So Graham, I understand it is too late for you. So if you wish to discontinue for the next session, that's absolutely fine. We'll provide you the recording for the conversation. It's late for you, I guess. You want to say something?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for that, because it's what, nearly 9:30 now in the evening for me. So yeah. Anyway, thanks very much for the.
Thank you. Thanks for joining, Graham.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
See you soon again. Yes. So I'm ending this session and resuming another session. Bye-bye, Graham. ID and password will be the same.